Hey guys, it's Ping and welcome to our first race spec video. We've got our 2021 Honda CRF450 out here today, and we've already put several days on this bike between our shootout, our introduction. We wanted to come back and revisit it for you guys, those of you who are going to buy one of these machines or already have, and try to come up with a really good setting, some tricks that Honda's learned. I mean, to be real honest, they don't really start learning about this bike and the nuances of it until they get them here and get them to us. So we're all kind of learning together, and that's why I like bringing you these videos. Just gives you a place to start if you get a little bit lost in your settings or you're not sure where to start. And there's a couple of things about this bike that need to be addressed. We discussed this in our shootout. It was pretty much a general feedback from everybody that it's got a little bit of a rich condition down low in the mapping that you feel no matter what map you're on. It's a little bit better with the aggressive map, but it's still there. And the suspension valving is a little off. I wasn't sure we were going to be able to even find something that was great today, but I think we got something that at least will get you headed in the right direction. Let me start with the stock settings. On the forks, stock settings, your compression clicker should be 10 out. All the way in, 10 clicks out. Rebound is 15 out. Fork height is 5 mil from the bottom of the cap, where the tube actually meets the cap. Sag is 105 millimeters, recommended from Honda. The shock, low speed compression, 12 out. High speed compression, 2 1/6 turns out. Rebound, 8 out. That's where it should come from your dealer showroom. Please check it because a lot of times they are not in those positions. This bike got me. I don't usually have this happen, but it has happened before. There's a counterintuitive thing with this fork in particular. The first time I rode it, I said, oh man, it's really harsh feeling. I need to go softer. Opened up the clickers, we kept going softer. It didn't get better, and pretty soon I'm diving way down, and I'm like, man, I went really soft and it got worse. What happens with this fork, I believe it's valved too soft initially, and so it immediately drops into stiffer valving and gives you a harsh feeling. And you go, oh, it's firm, I need to soften it up. In reality, you need to go stiffer to get the fork back up into that initial part of the valving stack where it's got some more compliance. It's a little bit softer, the top third, let's say. We had the guys from Show out here today working with us again, and basically what I had to do was drop the fork down a mil in the clamps and go stiffer to get it to, and even by dropping the forks down in the clamps, what that does is bring the front end up, puts a little more weight on the rear, takes a little bit off the front, and lets it work in that top part of the stroke. Obviously going firmer on the compression clicker does the same thing. It holds it up into that softer part of the stroke. So again, it's counterintuitive. I want it to feel softer, and I'm stiffening the clickers. For me on this bike, I didn't feel like I was way down into the stroke, but I had a very harsh feeling right away. So anyway, that was our fix. We went from, instead of 5 millimeters at the fork height, we were at 4. So I dropped it 1 mil. From compression, I went to 8 instead of 10, so I went 2 clicks in, and rebound I went to 16, so 1 click out. So it firms it up, and then it lets it move a little bit freer by opening up that rebound a touch. And again, these are obviously, I'm not going to weigh, I'm 175 pounds, I'm not going to weigh what everybody does. We're different skills, we ride different. These are just a good sort of baseline for you to get started. If you try this and you're like, I need to go more, maybe open the rebound up a couple clicks, or keep turning that compression in a couple more clicks. Find what works for you. On the shock, sag at 108, so we had quite a bit of sag. And again, it's sort of the same thing. It's the same condition in that shock where the initial part of the valving is too soft. You're blowing through and hitting the hard part of the valving. So I'm fighting two things. I like my bikes to squat a little bit in the rear, but I'm trying to also firm it up so that I'm staying up in that stiff part of the stroke. So really the 100% answer is get your suspension revalved. I realize that's not everybody can do that, not everyone wants to do that. So these are good settings. Like I said, at the end of the day here, I was comfortable. It was working good. I wouldn't say great, but good. So we went to 108 sag instead of 105, just a little bit extra sag. Compression on the low speed is at 9 out instead of 12, so we went in 3 clicks. High speed, I came out a quarter of a turn, so I'm at 2 5/12. So quarter turn out. That's going to give you a little bit softer feel and let it squat a little bit more, kind of change the ride height for you. Rebound is at 8, we didn't touch that. So not as big of changes in the shock. Again, where I was really having the issues is in the front end. So with this setting, I was comfortable. I still wouldn't want to go racing with it like this at a high level. The fix is revalving it, but this is a good direction to go. Go in a little bit firmer, open up your rebound to touch, particularly on the fork. There's an HRC setting tool basically to alter your mapping. A lot of your dealerships will have this. You can buy this on Honda's website through their HRC program. We are going to provide a link to you that you can go in and download the map that we used. And it cleans up all of that gurgle down low. And it'll only change map 2 and 3. Please keep that in mind. The standard map is locked in. It can't be changed on the standard ECU, but it will change map 2 and 3, the soft and the aggressive maps. And really, if you are vet, entry-level rider, you're gonna probably want that soft map. This motor is a monster. Even in that map, it's just smoother and a little bit easier to ride. If you're intermediate pro, you probably like the aggressive map, and this cleans both of those up. No issues with gurgle once we installed those maps. So the fix is there. We're going to provide that link for you down below if you want to correct that issue. 2 other things for me that I would recommend: get rid of these grips. They're brutal on your hands. And then the other thing is I'd recommend switching out this front tire for an MX53. Just a little bit better grip, better bump absorption, which will actually help the feel of that front end. When you load it, like if you're coming into a turn that's banked and you get that hard pack chatter, the 53 just absorbs it better, it won't roll. Better grip on hard pack, still works great in the intermediate. So my recommendation for a front tire, I think that will help the feel of that front end. So one of the big common threads that when we were discussing this bike post shootout was that it is a good suspension setting and a map away from being a class leader. This is a great bike. It's just got a couple of very obvious flaws. And I think they're easily correctable. If you know someone that can revalve your suspension or you want to send off and have it done, that's the 100% fix. This will get you close. The maps that we're going to provide will clean up your mapping. You don't need to do anything there. You're going to be pretty happy with that. So I hope that helped. If we have other little tricks that we learn down the road, we'll share those with you, but this is going to be a good start for you. So enjoy your 2021 CRF450. It's a heck of a bike. It's beautiful. We're going to get started on our project bike and obviously address the suspension issue and anything else we think we can make better. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next Race Spec video.